And it's time for week 1 of PWC Season 13. It's back. And I got myself a pretty cool draft, which you will see at the end. There's a team review and I show both of our drafts, so you'll be able to see what I picked. I think I have a pretty solid team. It's not perfect, but I really liked having sticky webs plus golden go. I've got a bunch of stealth rock users. I've got a pretty bad spinner in Hitmonlee. I've got a Hitmonlee, which is just kind of the best fucking Pokemon ever at pivoting and momentum and taking literally any hit you want to EV it for. So here, first things first, I see that Cobalion takes every hit from this team. So, and immediately I also saw no Clodsire, which is a huge fucking deal. I was a little surprised actually there was no Clodsire. But Cobalion's very, very safe for me to lead here. And just kind of scout what they're going to do and Volt Switch out. So they do lead the Hatterene, which is pretty obvious. You don't want to let me get up sticky webs for free on this team. Because at that point I'd probably just steamroll you. The one thing that's keeping me from steamrolling you is that you have Pokemon that are faster than mine, right? So I Volt Switch here, knowing probably Zapdos or like Metagross is coming in. And I do not want to Heavy Slam the Zapdos and get paralyzed. That would be the worst thing in the entire world. So I go to Garganacl here, which is pretty obvious. I assume there's going to be the Metagross switching in, or perhaps the Hitmontop if it's an Intimidate set. And that is correct. The Metagross is going to come in, and unfortunately...
So do I think I'm transgender? Yes, 1000%.
We reveal, or he reveals, they reveal, Covert Cloak, which is just not good because, I mean, it's kind of obvious, really, but, yeah, that kind of means Garganacl is doing absolutely nothing. And, right here, we're gonna see that my Pasho Berry gets knocked off, as I do get the Stealth Rocks, which is good, I think, but the Pasho Berry was probably more valuable, considering there's Ogerpon and Inteleon. So, yeah, I lost a lot of HP on the Garganacl early, and I do think that was a mistake. And then, as I switch into Hitmonlee, I'm going to have to take Stealth Rocks on my own side. But that does allow me to get up a Wish. Hitmonlee has Baton Pass, which it can run over Flip Turn, which is amazing, because there's 2 Water Absorb users on this team. So he knocks off my Rocky Helmet. At least he does take a little bit of chip that way, but... so I see that he switches into the Zapdos. And I know that I'm not going into Boulder yet, obviously. We don't want to use my booster. We also don't want to get fucking paralyzed by Static, so... I do end up just going back to Garganacl, because I'm kind of like, well, what's the better matchup here? But this time I'm not gonna Salt Cure, obviously. I'm gonna Earthquake. Hoping maybe the Metagross would come in again, but I think that was optimistic, right? So the Hitmontop will come in. We see that it's a Technician Hitmontop. We also get a very lucky crit. And I do think that mattered for later on. We got some pretty lucky extra damage there on the Hitmontop. And I think... Let's see, I have to switch out here, right? Because we see he's Technician. He could still read, like, Close Combat, which is a lot stronger than Mach Punch. I was considering going to Golden Go, but I ended up just going to Hitmonlee again, because, like I said, we just want to pivot. We just want momentum. We want Wishes passed. And low-key, Hitmonlee can just sit in front of Hitmontop. You see how much damage it's doing? So I have plenty of time to get a Play Rough, bring this thing down pretty low, to the point where I think he probably wants to switch it out and save it, because he's got the Mach Punch, which is pretty good into my team. Well, Cobalion and Iron Boulder and Garganacl, so I do think he wants to keep the Mach Punch. So in comes the Ogerpon. And of course, I am not using Flip Turn, so I do get to just Baton Pass and Wish something. Although, everything is at full HP at this point, so... No, I didn't Wish, I'm sorry. I Play Roughed. But I just go into Cobalion. Cobalion can eat up hits from this Ogerpon, no problem. Unless I get crit. If he gets 2 crits in a row, I'm 2-hit KO'd, but I mean, what am I supposed to do about that? We just have to play the game and hope that doesn't happen. So here, I believe I want to Volt Switch, because again, I do not want to body press the Zapdos. That would be awful, I would get paralyzed, and probably just lose right there, because Cobalion is really, really important for taking the physical hits from Metagross and from Ogerpon. I go into Galvantula here. So, I go into Galvantula thinking you're going to want to switch into the Hatterene, right? If I get up Sticky Webs, you might not get another chance to get rid of them with the Hitmontop because it's so weak. So you do not want me to get Sticky Webs up. Right now, I just have a free opportunity to get some damage. So I go for the Compound-Eyes Thunder. I don't have specs or anything, but it's still like a pretty strong move. This is, I believe, I don't know if it was a Sulfest Hatterene or something. But yeah, that didn't do very much. I go into Garganacl. I don't know what I was really doing with Garganacl here. It doesn't really accomplish anything against Hatterene because, as we see, he has Draining Kiss, and as we see here, he has the Giga Drain. So yes, I got a Salt Cure, but he's able to just heal all the damage anyways. And Garganacl is now too weak to do anything, so I probably should have just kept it in, and I guess I was thinking I could Wish Pass, and it would still be useful, which is true. I think that's a valid thought. I go into the Cobalion here, and he makes a fantastic read with the Mystical Fire.
Escucha las palabras de las brujas, los secretos escondidos en la noche.
I am an Assault Vest, so I take it, okay. I'm just barely not 2-hit KO'd, so I can stay in. I'm gonna Volt Switch here again, I believe, because, one more time, I am not getting my fucking ass paralyzed today. So I Volt Switch on the Zapdos. Back into Galvantula, which this time I believe I'm going to Volt Switch. No, I just Thunder again. Yeah, and we just sacked the Galvantula to the Zapdos.
Oh shit, bro! Oh.
2 Pokemon back there that Galvantula is too weak to take their hits, so if it can't outspeed them, it's kind of useless at this point. At least, that's what I was thinking. I really wish I clicked Sticky Web there. I could have done it. It's a really, really ballsy play to make, because if I get Sticky Webs on my side, then I just fucking lose the game, so... I could have done it, I didn't. Here I'm gonna go to Golden Go, because I'm like, well fuck, I don't want to get paralyzed with Iron Boulder, so I kind of just have to take a Heat Wave. I know I can take a Heat Wave, but I know I'm also not going to kill with Shadow Ball, so... I have Power Gem, but I don't want to lock into Power Gem and give the Metagross the freest fucking switch of his life. So I go for Shadow Ball, it does not quite KO, unfortunately, and Golden Go takes a lot of damage. But that's okay, because we still have a Alomomola. Ogerpon's gonna come in here. Ogerpon wants to just fucking whack me in the head with a stick. Alomomola can take a Horn Leech. It can take 2 Horn Leeches, probably. If it's Wood Hammer, that's tricky. If it's Power Whip, that's worse, unless you miss. But if it's Wood Hammer, you at least are taking a lot of recoil. So I go to the Alomomola, basically knowing that you weren't gonna, you're probably gonna knock off or go for a water type move. Knockoff would make a lot of sense there. Instead he goes for Spikes, which, that's honestly not very good. I stay in and Wish, because I'm like, I need my Golden Go to be at more HP, I need my Cobalion with more HP, and I need to do it right now, because I know I can take a Grass type move from this range. And he just goes for another Spikes, which is really, really bad for me, because my team kind of relies on switching a lot. I go to Cobalion, who is going to be fully healed all the way to 100%. He'll U-turn on my Cobalion. This time, I believe I body pressed. I was like, damn, this Ogerpon is at full HP, and Iron Boulder is not going to be able to kill it from full HP, so I need the damage. I went for body press, but he just brings in the Hatterene basically just to sack it. Now that Galvantula's dead, he doesn't need the Hatterene anymore. So there's that. But Ogerpon's gonna come back in here. Since I got the wish though, I'm at full HP, and I know I can take hits from Ogerpon if I need to, so I'm going to go for the body press. You can see if he crit me, it looks like a 2-hit KO if he crits twice, I think. I don't know if he crits once and not the other time. But body press is just barely a 2-hit KO, which I did EV specifically for that, so I know that he wants to switch this thing out. I know he wants to keep the Ogerpon. So I know he's going to switch, and I can just Volt Switch on whatever's coming in here, which is going to be the Golden Go. And this is a perfect opportunity, again, to Wish Pass, because Alomomola literally doesn't give a fucking shit what Hitmontop does. It's kind of funny. Okay, I do take the spikes. Like, that's obviously bad, but I didn't bring a spinner this week because Hitmontop just didn't look... Hitmonlee didn't look that good, sorry. So, I'm gonna wish. The Ogerpon's gonna come back in here. But, again, I'm basically just hoping I can get a wish pass to Golden Go so I'm not so weak and I can take another hit. Or the Cobalion could also use a wish pass here. Which is actually, sorry, that's what I end up doing. Because Cobalion takes hits from Ogerpon way better. He does end up just U-turning, but the Hitmontop is coming back in like super, super weak. I know he has Mach Punch, it's Technician Mach Punch. But I'm Fizz Def. I'm so sorry, that's not doing that much damage. I'm at full HP. I can fucking take that hit. So I do stay in and Volt Switch. Yeah, Mach Punch did like 25%, that's crazy. Maybe he's just bulky, no attack, I don't know. If that was the case, I would probably go Intimidate, but whatever. Alomomola comes back in here, looking healthy until the spikes and the rocks. I can get another Wish Pass here, obviously. This Hitmontop can't fucking touch me. He goes for the Mach Punch. I was a little surprised. I was like, you don't have any stronger move to hit me with? And I'm like, are you gonna go for Mach Punch again? Because in that case, bitch, I'm going to Golden Go. And as we do see, the Mach Punch does not come out. Golden Go had barely any health left after all those hazards, and it's a good thing he didn't have like Earthquake or literally anything else. So we do get Golden Go back to full HP, very, very nice. And that's going to allow me to pick off this Hitmontop with a Shadow Ball. Again, I don't really want to make it rain. That gives Metagross a very, very free switch, which I then have to switch into. And Alomomola could do that, but I'd rather just Shadow Ball and make sure that the Ogerpon is at like 45, so it doesn't really want to take a Shadow Ball. The Metagross doesn't want to take a Shadow Ball. So what's left? Yeah, it's this motherfucker. Which I have never seen before in Owl. It is so ugly. I didn't want to think about it. I don't even know what that starter is called. Like least favorite starter ever. I don't know what the fuck it looks like that. Anyways, I don't know what it does. I knew it was like a really fast special attacker, so I'm thinking in my team building I was just preparing for like Terra Water, Hydro Pump shit. And I was looking at the team builder trying to figure out what kind of setup he had before I switched into Guard to Sack. And I was like, there's no way he's about to Swords Dance on my ass with this special attacker, and yeah, that's what he did. So I go into Cobalion because I guess I'm like, well, something has to take a hit from this. Cobalion is probably the only one who can besides Alomomola, but I'm like, Inteleon definitely has a Terra type specifically for Alomomola. My Volt Switch does a lot of damage here, but as we see, he is going to Terrastalize into the electric type, which that's really, really bad, because Volt Switch does no damage, and then I'm looking at my fucking calc, seeing that Earthquake is a KO now because he Terrastalized. So I'm like, oh, monkey brain, I'm just gonna go into fucking Iron Boulder. Yeah, that was a terrible idea because I just die to Aqua Jet. Yeah, that's the end of Iron Boulder, and that's kind of the end of the game too. I think Alomomola could have taken the Terra Blast. I'm not positive. Goldengo could have definitely taken a Liquidation, right? I think. Well, I'm Choice Scarf too, so I would have gotten the Shadow Ball first. I would have maybe taken the Liquidation, and then I would have to switch. Yeah, it's tough. And I Volt switched on Cobalion, but I took so much damage that I have to sack the Cobalion to the spikes to get Alomomola more healing, so I can hope to take this Terra Blast. Yeah, the game is over. I go into Goldengo, I'm like, well, this is my only way to deal damage to it, so I'm just gonna Shadow Ball. Goldengo Shadow Ball could clean up. If I could get rid of this Inteleon, it's a Metagross, it's a weak Ogerpon, and I think that's it, right? Maybe Zapdos? I forgot. But aside from this Inteleon, just barely tanking my Shadow Ball, Goldengo could have probably cleaned up between Goldengo and Alomomola. But yeah, it just wasn't quite enough. And we ended up losing 0-3, which is not super great, but I think in the early game, like the first half, we still played very well. Kept momentum in my favor. I think Garganacl took too much damage early on, which kind of sucked, but, you know, whatever. You live and you learn. Inteleon is apparently a Pokemon that people use. That thing is so fucking ugly, I don't know why they made that. And I never looked at its moveset before, so... Yeah, team review is coming up. Alright, so that was a good game against the Toronto Mew Phase. I don't always do a team review, but I spent a bunch of time making this graphic. So I'm gonna use it, and it's like reusable. It's just like an Excel spreadsheet that I like put some art on top of it, so it's gonna be reusable, modular, if you will. It's really nice. It highlights all of the max speeds that these Pokemon can have, and it will kind of highlight the fastest ones, so that when I'm looking at it, trying to build my team, I know like which speed tiers I need to creep and whatever. So the first thing I noticed here, both of our teams are very fast. I cap out at 124, he caps out at 125 with the Weavile. Although I will say Weavile doesn't look amazing into my team, because I've got the Cobalion, I've got the Azumarill. Of course, Speed Booster Boulder. Weavile does have priority, but not dark priority, I don't think. So, I also noticed my team is kind of weak to water. Specifically because Shaman does not look good in this matchup. Shaman doesn't really like to see Zapdos, Gouging Fire, doesn't really like to see Ogerpon, or Weavile, or Ice Beam from Inteleon, or Metagross. I can't really hear, like, Earth Power does a little bit, I guess. Clodsire probably walls Shaman. Yeah, Shaman doesn't look good here, and that means I'm really, really weak to water. So, that's one consideration, because there's the Inteleon and the Ogerpon, which are both very fast, very strong water stabs, that I was trying to watch out for. So my speed tier, I have two Pokemon at 108 speed, and that's a little bit, like, awkward, I would say. I have to go 100, I think 330, to get past the Zapdos. But then there's there's 3 Pokemon that are higher than 108, so that's a little bit awkward, I think. So Sticky Webs could be really, really nice, but obviously there is a Hatterene. I can't just click Sticky Webs at any point in the game. When I was in the team builder, I put Gastro Acid in there, thinking that I was cooking, but obviously that shit wouldn't work. In terms of damage, Iron Boulder can kind of fuck shit up. I mean, that's what Iron Boulder does. We're running booster speed because of that Weavile. I wanted to make sure we don't get revenge killed or something, or we can come in to revenge kill the Weavile. We also can outspeed like Choice Scarf Inteleon, or Choice Scarf... I don't know what else would be Choice Scarf. If maybe +1 Dragon Dance Gouging Fire, we'd be able to outspeed that. So the booster speed, just to make sure we have a chance to revenge. And it does have Swords Dance on the set, so I can try and take advantage of if I'm forcing a switch, you know. Alomomola is a must-bring. Like I said, we're pretty weak to water, and although they do have 2 possible water-absorbed Pokemon on this team, Alomomola gets Flip Turn, it also gets Baton Pass, which is kind of crazy. So that was very relevant in this game. Alomomola kind of carried the team. It was just keeping up momentum until the end when the game like turned around. But Alomomola was just allowing me to keep taking hits and keep taking hazards over and over. Landorus looks like it kind of doesn't like this matchup. Everything can one-hit KO Landorus. So he'd be pretty much forced to run Choice Scarf. I don't really like that. Because it's too easy to like bring in a revenge kill. Azumarill's damage is honestly not that good either. We also can't do like a Belly Drum Aqua Jet thing with the Water Absorb. I'm liking Cobalion. I'm liking Cobalion because of the Ogerpon, the Weavile, the Metagross. Those are some strong physical attackers that Cobalion can come in on and then Volt Switch to pivot around. Galvantula isn't doing anything special. It's a Terra Ground, so I don't get walled by like, I guess to punish the Metagross and the Gouging Fire. I almost considered running no special attack and still having Thunder, but doing a physical Terra Blast for the Clodsire, but that was kind of dumb, and Clodsire didn't end up coming anyways, so I did bring Garganacl. I think in hindsight, Garganacl ended up being kind of dead weight, and I like I said, I'm really weak to water, and so I saw the water types and the steel type and Metagross, and I was like, well, let me bring Salt Cure, but Metagross had the Covert Cloak, so whenever I saw that, Garganacl was just kind of like pulling me down a little bit. Golden Go just seems nice. It hits everything pretty hard. I went with an offensive Choice Scarf set. I don't know if that was the best set here, to be honest, but Golden Go is pretty adaptable. You can do a lot of things with it. And yeah, Alomomola carried the game, I would say. We still lost, like, not like I won, but Alomomola carried the game. I have never, ever seen the fucking Inteleon lizard thing in a battle. I think, I don't even know what it evolves from. Like, what is the first form starter called? That shit is ugly as fuck, and I didn't want to think about that. So I didn't really think about the fact that it has Aqua Jet, apparently. I don't know. I don't even know if it would have mattered that much if I had foreseen Aqua Jet. Like, what were my options at that point? I think I might have still had Alomomola. I have to go watch the game, but that's going to be week 1, and week 2 is coming up next. I'm actually on vacation for week 2, so I played both my games last week. And I've got all my stuff ready to edit while I was traveling. And yeah, I will be back next week.